Okay, good evening. Okay, then, so let's discuss about the questions related to your chapter 2, and let's begin chapter 3 today. So we have already finished this chapter 2, and I think we need to answer the questions in the exercise, and then we'll move to the chapter number 3. Right. So the group of animals, I hope you have worked on this, right? The group of animals not belonging to invertebrates, which is the answer. Group of animals which is not belongs to invertebrate. Yes, what is the answer, Budhe?
Arthropoda.
Annelida, Cnidaria, then Amphibia. So here, Arthropoda, here they are asking, not belongs to the invertebrates. Vertebrates, so carefully understand, vertebrates are heavy, these vertebrate animals are having what? Backbone or vertebral column. Invertebrates are not having vertebral column. Not belongs to invertebrate means, in the other hand, we can ask belongs to vertebrates. Not belongs to invertebrate belongs to vertebrate. Is it Annelida, Cnidaria, Amphibia, or Arthropoda?
Amphibia.
Amphibia, yes. Arthropoda, Cnidaria, Annelida, all are invertebrates, right? But Amphibia is vertebrate. So here the answer is Amphibia. Okay, next one. The group with the highest number of animals.
Arthropoda.
Arthropoda, yes. So we discussed like 80% of there are like a lot of species under Arthropoda. So they are having highest number of animals. And so the next is an animal belongs to reptilia group is yes.
Turtle.
So read it carefully. Animals belongs to reptilia. Shark, whale, salamander.
Salamander.
Salamander. So please read carefully, right? When you're reading that and you're answering, so you have to be careful, right? So otherwise, what will happen? So you will select wrong answer. Read it carefully, right? Turtle belong to which category? Turtle belongs to which category? We learned that. Yes, turtle belongs to which category? Go through the book and see. So let's go through it. So which category you can see the turtle? Yes. Salamander is here. Right? Therefore, be careful when answering, right? That's why I asked. That's why I cross-check. Turtle, tortoise, both are belongs to reptilia category, Uraga, right? But salamander coming under amphibia, right? Be careful in answering the questions, right? So don't change the answer. Even if I re-ask, I just wanted to check whether you have exactly coming to the point. Salamander coming under amphibians, right? But reptilia, so basically tortoise, turtle, both are in reptilia group. You can see tortoise image, but turtle, is it given somewhere? Here. Tortoise, turtle, both are given, right? Tortoise, turtle, both are given. Then next, fill in the blanks. Sea anemone belongs to which group? Is it given? No, it's not given. Sea anemone belongs to which group?
Cnidaria.
Sea anemone. So we discuss about that. Yeah, sea anemone coming under Cnidaria or Cnidaria. So we just discuss about this. So it has like it's coming under here, right? You can see the image, right? They are basically radially symmetrical body attached to, so some are floating and some are attached to, this is sea anemone, basically it's attached to the surface. It's not showing any locomotion, but showing the movement, but not the locomotion. So we learned about that, and it is radially symmetrical category here. So it's type of animal, invertebrates. Right, next. Possessing segmented appendages is a feature of
Annelida.
segmented appendages. Right, segmented appendages. So what are the appendages? So you can see here, so we discuss about this.
Arthropoda.
Arthropoda here.
Sir.
Yes, appendages means is jointed or segmented appendages. So it's a feature of arthropoda, but segmented body is a feature of Annelida, right? So don't misunderstood here. This is segmented body. They have, these are like kind of segmented body. It's consists, they are having here, it's segmented. But so read it carefully. That's why I said this is segmented appendages. Sandhipada kila කියන segmented appendages. So that is belongs to arthropoda. Read it carefully when you're answering. So here breath using lungs, wet skin and mouth. So that is easy.
Amphibia.
Amphibia. And we are basically in the amphibian category, you know, basically frogs and toads. So these categories, especially right, frog and toad. So they are using here, they're using their skin, and also here wet skin, lungs or mouth. Basically, these two categories use that. That is amphibians. Right. Question number 3. Name the invertebrate groups that bears each of the features given. Muscular foot.
Mollusca.
Mollusca. So you know they are having muscular foot. So they used to. And worm-like segmented body. Now.
Annelida.
Right. Jointed appendages or segmented appendages.
Arthropoda.
Radial symmetrical body.
Nidaria.
Nidaria, yes. Nidaria, Nidaria. Right. Anything. So write down the answers. Name 2 forms of Nidaria with an example for each form.
Sea anemone and jellyfish.
Yes. What are the forms? Sea anemone, jellyfish. So what are the 2 forms? So that is example. Yes. That example is correct. 2 forms. What are the 2 forms?
Medusa and polyps.
Yes, medusa and polyps. What are the with features of medusa and polyps?
Polyps are fixed to the substrate and lead a sedentary life, while medusa are free-floating organisms.
Yeah, just make it simple. Okay, so this medusa types are floating, so they are showing locomotion. They are moving from one place to another place, showing locomotion, and the other type is attached to the surface. Right? Make it simple. No need to right. No need to repeat and read the same thing in the book. So just understand, and then you can use locomotion is shown by the medusa type. The other types, polyps are attached to some surface. Right, name 4 arthropods that can fly.
Bee, butterfly, cockroach, and dragonflies.
Yes, correct. View 3 basic features of mammalia. We learned last week. 3 basic features of mammalia.
Has mammary glands.
Yes, has mammary gland, definitely. That's why they are called mammals.
Mammals have lungs to breathe.
Others also have that, but okay, can be accepted.
Skin has sweat glands.
Yes, seed brands and all, but that is again seed, so that can be taken, but go for prominent features. So basically they are take care of babies. So in the little ages and babies based, they are actually the meal is mother's milk, right? That is another thing, and they are having mammary glands, and that is another feature. And as you said, just these other features can also be taken, lungs, and so the sweat glands and other glands in the skin, and also they have like hair in the skin, so that is also a feature, hair in the skin. So these are also these three basic features of airways.
Breathe using lungs. Body is covered with feathers.
Okay, this is prominent.
Streamlined body is designed for
Flight.
flight.
Right, the streamlined body and feathers in the skin, and also so what they have beak, right? Not mouth, no? They have beak. So those are so tell the prominent features. Beaks, right? That is another prominent feature, and like so they have two legs, and other two legs actually they have it is like adapted as wings. Some can fly, some cannot fly. So most of the aves categories can fly, but some of the aves categories cannot fly. Okay, now I think you have better idea about these two. So with the particular revision, I understood that, but still there are some doubts. I expect you to confirm that. Please get it confirmed when you answer in. Otherwise, this sometimes you might confuse with these amphibians and reptile categories. So please be confident about the answers. So don't guess an answer. Be confident about your answers. So then that is the only thing that I noticed. Other things are okay. I hope you have a better understanding about the particular chapter. So let's move to the next one, which is diversity of and functions of plants. Actually, this is again a lesson from grade 7. We learn about the parts in a plant, the parts of the plants in grade 7. This is a continuation lesson. Actually, so some lessons are continuing from grade 6, some lessons we are continuing from grade 7 stuff. So some are related to grade 7. So parts of a plant we identified in there, but still you can, so if you cannot remember, so can you tell a few without looking at the book, can you tell, so what are the plants, parts of the plant? So what are the prominent or main parts? Yes.
Shoot system and root system.
Root system and
Shoot system.
okay. So subparts of that.
In root system, taproot, lateral root.
Okay.
In shoot system, flowers, fruits, leaves, lateral buds, apical buds, stem.
Okay. Okay. So in the root system, you have two things. So that is basically taproot and lateral root. Sometimes like it might change the taproot and lateral root, some plants. So this is a basic, basically we have take a plant with taproot. And then, so when it comes to this shoot system, so there you can see the stem. The stem can be like woody stem, or it can even be a stem like this. This is not woody, but so this kind of flexible stem, so not strong enough. Some plants, because we learn about different categories of the plants, like bushes, then like woody, so we learn about shrubs, bushes and all in the previous grade, and then leaves. So that is very important thing, leaves and fruits. So this fruit is there for the flowering plants, right? Flowers and fruits are there for flowering plants, because some plants are non-flowering. For flowering plants, you can see fruits and flowers both. So actually, at not the same, sometimes in some seasons you cannot see any flower or fruits, but typically in any like in the life cycle, some stages So flowers and fruits are there, but there are some plants which are non-flowering. For those non-flowering plants, you will not be able to see these flowers and fruits. Right? You have to be specifically tell that, right? So root system A and shoot system is the main thing. And anyway, any plant will have leaves and roots. Leaves and roots. But the other things, there are minor changes. Flowers, fruits, stem, and also the taproot, lateral root, these things. This has minor changes. Okay, let's move to the diversity of these plants. So the main thing actually in my, so I said that I have done my initial degree related to biology, but the thing is data I shifted to IT. Then again, when I was doing masters, I was like studying image processing. In that, I had a nice project. In that project, one project is actually related to animals. So that was to like recognize, diagnose, that is for the diagnosing of diseases. So using image processing systems, and the another research that I have done, one of the interesting thing is analyzing leaves using analyzing plant leaves using image processing. So that is actually a mix of ICT and biology, botanical science and ICT mix. Anyway, so now like there are subjects like that. So when you are learning ICT and you are learning this science, and there are occasions we can merge the subjects, because you know, once you can identify these things, so it is a skill, but not everyone can identify the plant by using the leaf. But there are applications, even Google Lens has that capability. When you scan a leaf, it is possible to identify the plants. So the accuracy level might be different, but the thing is, so there is a higher possibility to identify the plant correctly. If you don't know about a plant, so what you can do is you can scan a leaf using Google Lens and try to understand or try to find the similar plants, similar image in the internet, and then you can further discover about that plant, right? So that is basically where the ICT and science mix. Anyway, in order to learn those things in the next level, first of all, we have to identify what are the differences. So what are the differences of this leaf? Leaf has significant differences. Actually, before learning about these differences and similarities, features, so let's analyze a part of leaf. But you have a small activity. In that activity, actually, you have to measure, you have to compare the thickness of leaves, and also you have to compare the area, right? Area of the leaves, which is like you have to draw this and you have to fetch this into a paper. This is a square ruler interface, and then you can count the number of squares which is cut down, which is actually filled with that, and you can just compare the area which is covered by the particular leaf. But that is not always similar, because even let's say a mango leaf, so this mango leaf, it can have different sizes, right? Different varieties will have different sizes, so it's not always the same. If you take a mango leaf from one branch and you take another branch, maybe the same branch, yes, there are different sizes of leaves, but the shape has a prominent shape is a prominent feature. That is what I have used. Shape is a feature which can be used to identify a leaf properly. Actually, shape, when it comes to the shape, you have to take the shape of the base. Base is here. Base of the shape, and the tip. Base, tip, and the blade. So when you analyze base, tip, and the blade, it is easy to identify. Okay, let's see these features now. So these are the parts. These are the parts of a leaf, right? Some leaves are kind of complex shape. Some leaves having a complex shape with leaflets. So small leaflet parts, and that is branched into many leaflets. So this is a single leaf. right? This is a single leaf. And when there is a single leaf, anyway, there is something called petiole or leaf stalk. Leaf stalk or petiole is basically this part. This is like stem. This is like stem to the leaf. Leaf එකේ stem එක වගේ. හැබැයි මේකට වෙන නමක් තියෙනවා, that is called stalk or petiole. Right? Then the base is base කියලා කියන්නේ මෙතන. පාද කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. This is the base. The base has different shapes. අපි බලමු ඉස්සරහට. Different leaves will have different shapes. Then the lamina or blade. පත්‍රය මේ තියෙන surface එක අපි මේකට කියනවා lamina එක නැත්නම් blade එක. So these are bit difficult, some difficult as different words, but I think better you write down even though that is there in the book for the remembering purpose. So let's write down part of leaves, right? So let's write down the topic first. Actually, I couldn't prepare the note for today's lesson, but so I'll give it next week. For the moment, just write down the main heading: diversity and functions of plant parts. Diversity and functions of plant parts. Please write the heading. So there are slides. I'll give that next day. So I couldn't actually bring it today. Diversity and functions of plant parts. Then under that, please write the first subgroup, that is leaves. 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 Under that, so please write parts of leaf. Part of a leaf. Parts of a leaf. Then please draw this roughly and name the parts. Draw this roughly. No need to draw the same thing. Just draw the basic shape, tip, margin, veins. Like yes, venation is another thing. Venation pattern. That also has differences. Plant to plant, the venation or vein pattern is different. Base, tip, margin, blade, and petiole. Okay, then so let's see how we can identify different plants based on different venations, different bases, different tips, and also the lamina. And actually, I have used the feature of veins or venation pattern for identification, but in your level, so you can use the external features which is directly visible to you, that is the base shape and the tip shape, margin, and the lamina blade. So venation is a prominent feature. Yes, it's also a unique feature, but the thing is you don't want to look at that for the moment in this level. Maybe in future grade you have to look into that. Okay, see this. Actually, what has differences here? So what are the differences that you can see? So is it leaf blade or leaf shape or leaf base or tip or everything?
Leaf base.
Yes, leaf blade is different, and also the tip you can see. Tip is also different, right? Tip here and here, different tip, right? Here a circular tip, and here also different. This is divided leaf. It has leaflets. Here also leaflets, and the base here you can see in the go-to column. So different base, and here the Kotamba base is again, it's like a tip. It has a different base. And mango base you can see, but this radish one is slightly visible. The base is And you can see this coheler. It has a different base. It's branched base. So not only the blade, tip, base, and blade, all three are different, right? So basically you can see the blade, but other things also has this different. So you can see this one, this image. This image is showing the different leaf tips. Different leaf tips. So here you can see the divided leaf tip. This is actually Begonia. So I don't know whether you have heard or you have seen this. It has branched, divided leaf. So can you tell me another thing having this? Another kind of leaf having this? Another example for this divided leaf tip? Yes? Just remember. I hope you know a common category, another thing, which has similar kind of divided or rounded leaf tip. Yes. You need to talk.
No idea, sir.
Have you seen what this? Okay, have you seen pumpkin leaf tip?
Yes, sir.
So is it divided or is it something else? Is it divided or is it round?
Is it wrong?
Divided or rounded? It's round one, right?
Okay.
Yes, then have you seen this what? Right, divided, so yeah, drapes. So what about drapes? Yes, drapes. So if you have seen this here,
Yes, sir.
drapes, leaf tip, drapes. It's a divide. So drapes, leaf tip. You can see it's not single tip. It's a divided one. Right? The leaf tip is like this. There are a lot of plants like this here. You can see. Right? So you need to look at the environment. Look at the environment and try to find the categories. I'll give this as an activity, as a table. So please find out which has similar leaf tips like this. So let's plan the activity now. Just give me a second. Observe your garden. Observe your garden and identify different leaf tip types, and observe your garden and identify different leaf tip types and base types. The common set of tips and bases are given below. Categorize plants in your garden according to the given groups according to the given types. So only use given types, no need to actually do this for other types. There are more other types, but like just write down, just draw this. I think you can see the text. Just draw this, and then here tip types are given, here the base types are given. With the variation, right? With the variation also. Please draw and write that. Here bases. Right. Okay. So there are other types. You can also you can also categorize according to them, because you know, there are a lot of types given, like in this actually in your level. You need to recognize you need to only recognize these things, but no need to remember the types. So just for the categorization purpose, I have given these names. Otherwise, don't misunderstand that I'm going beyond the syllabus, because in this syllabus, like, you don't have the categorization. You have to recognize them as different things, right? But no need to categorize them according to tip types and all. That is little advanced. But for the categorization purpose, for your understanding, I have given that terms. There are more. If you search, there are more groups. So where you can categorize the leaves. So for an example, the tip related to bow tree is not given. Tip related to grapes that we just observe is not given. And so the tip related to, yes, this akkapana and all, that is also not given. Right, but there are some more type like aristate, cirrus, like obcordate. Yes, obcordate is given. So there are more like that. So let's move to the next.
Okay.
Right. So then you need to categorize this your garden leaves according to this. So then you will find, so not these things. These are some examples given. So you can also think about categorizing these. These also can be categorized into these groups, but here this tip is not there and this tip is also not there, but these two tips are same, right? In the same category. Okay, then the base we discussed, and the margin. So here you can see the rose. It has a different margin, and hibiscus and rose margin is quite same. But temple trees, so earlier it has like basically a sharp margin, a fine one, but these are, and here this is begonia, akkapana. So some leaves are like thicker than some other leaves. For an example, akkapana, komarika, right? Or this aloe vera, right? Aloe vera, akkapana. These are bit thicker than other leaves. Why leaves are thicker? Why leaves are thicker? Some leaves are thicker than the other leaves. So even patok like things, so these leaves are thicker. Why you think those leaves those leaves are thicker than the other leaves? So normally leaf blade, this is like really, it's not thick normally. There are some, these are thick.
Because there is a water layer?
Yes, but in all these leaves, there is some amount of water, because like they produce food through photosynthesis, no? Therefore, those are greenish and also having some water inside that, but not just that. So basically, they are adapted to the environments. So this they are adapted to some dry environment. Therefore, for the preservation purpose, they keep this thicker one, because for the preservation purpose. They can even survive in some dry environment for some time because of this thickness of their leaves. So that's why this pothos and all, they are having that thicker layer of leaves. And there is one reason. Okay. Some are thin like needles. So why is that? Some are thin like needles. Examples, I think you know, in this someone in Morelli area, finers and all, some leaves are thinner and they are like needles. So what's the reason for that? Some are thicker, some are thinner. And some are falling down. In some seasons, some leaves are falling down. All the leaves, some plants, all the leaves are falling down. And again, they regrow. So why is this? Okay. So this is called adaptation, right? This is called adaptation because they are in different environment, different places, and different environment conditions. So some are in dry environment, some are in wet environment, some are like not getting enough sunlight, right? To get the sunlight, leaf need to be leaf surface need to be flat to absorb more sunlight. Some are ready to absorb more sunlight, some are ready to some are actually adapted according to the dry environment, some are adapted to preserve their water, preserve the water, reduce the amount of water which will be transformed back to the air, evaporation, so it is reduced. So likewise, so there are different features of these leaves according to the environment that these trees and plants are. Okay, I think we can discuss that part, the leaf arrangement and all. Yes, leaf arrangement, adaptation. That here you can see cactus and casa. I said that, right? So this leaf adaptation, different adaptation, different places. So why is that? Thinner leaves, thicker leaves, waxy, so some are like thinner, thicker, right? Reduced number of leaves. Some are falling down. So aloe vera, you can see aloe. So these plants. So we'll discuss about this next day. I'll stop from here. So next day I'll be discussing about different environments, the adaptation. So why they are adapted to different environments. Some actually they can reproduce by the leaves like this. You can see some leaves are like it can produce another plant, right? It has root system even. Some kind of roots can be formed using this. So different features. That is the diversity of these leaves, and we'll discuss that more using the interactive slides next day. Okay, I'll stop from here for today. Next day I'll be discussing the remaining part. Then good night.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, man.